Good morning! Happy Tuesday. Tuesday? What day is it? Monday, Tuesday. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. I'm here. That's the longest waiting screen ever. I'm sorry. I don't have my
Hi,
life
Stim.
together. Thank you for the 2 months, Mr. Winky. Thank you for the 2 months. And I saw Prince with the Prime. I love Primes. They sustain my soul. Thank you. It was like 10 minutes. I lost my toothbrush. I don't know where it is. Don't judge me, but I haven't brushed my teeth this morning because I can't find my toothbrush. We had to wait on the waiting screen. Gosh, diddly darn, what a twist. I know. I try not to have it too long because I don't want to bore you. I don't have a spare toothbrush. I'll have to go to the store and get one. I don't think I packed it. I haven't packed anything yet, to be honest. No, I didn't pack it. I have not packed a single thing. I've been too busy. There's been too much last minute stuff that needs to get done. I don't even know what I'm wearing to this event. What is it? Offkai. I don't even know what I'm wearing. I haven't packed anything. Do I pack cute clothes, or do I pack business clothes, or do I pack like VTuber like anime clothes? I don't know. I don't know how to dress for these things. Cosplay it is. I've never cosplayed before. I think I would be good at cosplay though. Wow, that sounded I just mean I feel like I could do cosplay if I wanted to. I just haven't. I don't have a travel pillow. I'm packing my Leah shirt and Sunny shirt. That's all I got so far. That's better than me. Dee 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 doo boop boop. Chew. Thank you for the Prime, Azur Shori. I love Primes. Yum 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 yum. They sustain me. Thank you. I appreciate Primes. They're the best. I took a pre-siesta today. I woke up early, but I got busy doing stuff, and I kind of forgot my stream time was soon. So I rushed around to like get ready. What Hammer Wars are reacting today? We're finally doing the worst jobs in the Imperium by Luton. Here's a kiss for you, Mac. Mwah. I've been stressing now that like the anniversary stuff is over. Now I'm stressing about Offkai. I don't know what to pack. I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to do. I'd go for warm clothes if the place is air conditioned. That's actually really good because I haven't looked at the weather at all. I've never been to California. I just assumed it would be very hot and desert-like.
Stim, can't wait to see you. Stimper 4 wave.
Aw, thanks, Mirai. Thank you for the 16 months. Just be sure to have good shoes. No, I'm packing my heels and my cute sandals. The weather's gonna be perfect this weekend. Wait, let me look it up. What is the weather this weekend? I should literally look in. I haven't looked at my plane tickets. I haven't looked at my hotel stuff. I haven't looked at the weather. I know my job duties. I have the Offkai schedule in my head, but like I have not looked at anything. Weather. California. California's big. Maybe the hep patties, Malice. The AC is apparently strong. Oh, okay, so bring a little cardigan is what I'm hearing. Or I could just wear my Gengar onesie and everyone would know it's me. The girl in a giant Gengar onesie. Perhaps a hoodie can tie it around your waist if it's too hot. True. I do have a Glitch Stars hoodie, but I never wear it because it's white and I will spill and ruin it. Wait, how come I can't find the weather? Oh. It says Friday 19 degrees, Saturday 21 degrees, Sunday 24 degrees. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. It's pretty standard. I have so many things to do. Also, I'm only bringing a carry-on bag. I'm not packing like a suitcase because I didn't want to pay the extra like $50 to bring a checked bag. And also I'm only going for 3 days, so like I can live out of a carry-on for 3 days. The general manager has official Glitch Stars apparel but refuses to wear it. I should bring it. I should bring it. I should bring it. I should bring it. I know I'm gonna spill coffee on it like the first day, and I'll be walking around the convention center with a white hoodie on with coffee stains on it, and I'll look like a girl failure when I'm supposed to be a very confident and what's the word? Professional manager. I will try to limit what I give you. Are you bringing gifts, Mirai? I am only bringing a carry-on. I usually pack pretty light though, because I get overwhelmed easily. So if I have a lot of luggage, I would rather just like pack light and then buy stuff there if I need, than like bring everything and pay extra. I'm also cheap. It's like $50 to get a checked bag. I heard 50 Canadian, I should say. I heard women like to pack a lot on flights though, like makeup and stuff. Well, you have to like fit all your makeup in like the little liquids bag anyways. So you can't really bring much unless you bring it in like a checked bag. The girl coffee stains is stim. I'm sure there'll be a lot of girls with coffee stains. There's probably a lot of girl failures going to Offkai. Checked baggage sounds like a company write-off. I never thought of it that way. It could be a company travel expense write-off, maybe. Your 1 hour-long Warhammer videos inspired me to listen to the books Dante and Fears to Tread, Immaculate Story for the Blood Angels, My Poor Troubled Handsome Guys. Blood Angel books! Oh, I love Blood Angels. I should read those. I should add them to my list. Miwa has a suitcase dedicated to Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Warhammer tanks, it seems. That doesn't surprise me. That's so cute. I got my travel size soaps from all the hotels I've taken them from over the years. Wait, soaps don't go bad, I don't think, right? Sim's not a girl failure? I mean, I don't know if I am or not. I don't think I am. I can cook, which is like, apparently that's like hard for some people, but I can cook. So I think that technically makes me not a girl failure because I can cook and take care of myself. I take care of myself. I shower. I live alone. I have to take care of myself. Like, I was kind of having a bit of an existential crisis the other day. Anyone else here live alone? Like, I don't know why I started spiraling, but I was like, you know what? If I died, no one's gonna know. Who's gonna find my body? I live alone. I got no one to take care of me. It'll just be me and my dog. My body and my dog. So sad. Like, I don't know why I was thinking about that. Work will eventually notice you're missing. That's true, actually. After a day of not answering anyone at Glitch Stars, I'm sure someone would notice. But no one lives in Canada. No one's gonna check on me. What are they gonna do? call me and I won't answer. Like, I don't have a landlord. I have my own house. I bought a house, like a little a little shack. I bought a little house last summer. So I don't even have a landlord to check on me. I'm literally solo. I'm solo doing life. Your dog will find someone? Maybe. He probably would be very sad. My dog loves me. I've had him for 10 years. I am a property owner. That's what I mean. I'm not a girl failure. Guys, I pay my mortgage. I pay all my bills by myself. I cook for myself. I work. I sure I suck at a lot of stuff, but I don't got no one to take care of me. I'm like, I'm a girl boss, if anything. Water and electricity bill will find you eventually. Actually, the reason I bought this house was because, well, if you've been here for a while, you've heard my trials and tribulations of the stim house. I bought this house because it was like severely discounted, and my last place I was renting kicked me out basically. And this place came for sale. And I had saved for a long time because I am responsible. And I had enough for down payment on this little like old shack of a house that freezes in the wintertime. And I was like, this, you know what? This might be my only chance to be a homeowner, even though it's like really in bad condition. I feel like I can fix it up over time, and this is like the only chance I have of owning a home. So I'm gonna do it. And I got it. So I have a little farmer shack, and I am very happy with it. No one died in it? I don't know. How can you tell if someone died in it? It was built in the 60s, so there's a good chance someone died in it. There's no like bloodstains on the floor though, if that's what you're asking. My dream is to own a house so I can stream games with an open mic. I'm jealous. Well, to be fair, I live in like a very low cost of living area. So I give up a lot of creature comforts. Like there's no Uber Eats here. There's no DoorDash. There's no McDonald's. There's no Starbucks. Like there's nothing here. That's why things are so cheap, because no one wants to live here. If I lived in the city, there's no way I'd ever be able to afford my own place. Never. I don't even think I could afford rent in a city. Like I looked at moving to a city closer to some of my friends, and I couldn't afford the rent. It was like $2,000 for like a 1 to 2 bedroom house. I'm like, $2,000? That's like for rent to not own something? Huh? There's no way I could afford that. Plus like all my other bills. I know I sound like a brokey, but I don't know how anyone affords that on their own, honestly. City living is so expensive. Yeah, I honestly don't know how people afford to live on their own in the city unless they have roommates or they live with their parents or family. Is McDonald's really good in Canada? I love McDonald's, but it's like a treat to me because I only get it when I go to the city because we don't have fast food here. The only fast food I have in my town is a Subway. Randomly a Subway. That is the one fast food place we have within like 45 minutes of where I live. I just gamble. I'm too scared to gamble. I am quietly saving though. I am quite proud of myself. Quietly saving? What does that mean? I don't know why I said it like that, but like I am working hard to save money because I would like to invest one day, but I don't know how investing works. So I'm just saving money for now. I feel like, wow, we're having like such a grown-up conversation today, chat. I feel like I'm trying to be responsible, and I'm taking a lot of hits right now. Like, I live in a kind of a shitty place. I don't like buy things I want very often. I don't go on vacations or trips because I'm trying to save money to be responsible. Wow, I'm such an adult. You gotta try American McDonald's? I've had American... Wait, have I? I'm sure I've had American McDonald's at points. At a point. I don't know, though. I really want to eat junk food at Offkai because, like, I don't have a chance to do that where I live. But I also want to eat good food because I heard, like, that area, California, has good restaurants. And I also don't have good restaurants here either. There's nothing good here unless you like wide open spaces. Like the Yaps on Miwa stream yesterday about if we'd have Necron adult dolls. Wait, what? What? I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dave. Thanks. I'm trying to be responsible. This is a good song. You like OG Blake Shelton? Wait, this is Blake Shelton, right? Yeah. I'm like talking about how to like save and invest for the future, and you guys are talking about adult dolls made out of Necrons on Viva stream. That's so funny. I'm sorry, I'm so boring. I've just been like having an existential crisis where I realize like I'm responsible for everything and I don't want to be responsible anymore. I just like thought like what if something bad happened and I had to pay for it and I don't have money? Like what do? Take a loan out? Like what do you do? If the emergency happens and you got no one to help you, what do you do? Like I guess you just die. Like I guess you just die. It's like my first time living on my own, so it's like a lot to worry about. Thank you for the head patties. Oh, quarter life crisis is fun times. When I was a teen, nobody warned me how boring an adult can be. That's so true. So true, bestie. I thought I could do whatever I want, but now if I do whatever I want, there's consequences, and I hate consequences of my own actions. Like, you know, a lot of people take like trips. They'll go to like the US for a few months, or they'll go to like Mexico or Hawaii. You know what I do when I have a little extra money? I buy Gengar merch or Warhammer stuff or Dungeons and Dragons stuff. That's my big living life. A little walk on the wild side in Stim's life. It used to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster boxes, but I don't buy them anymore because the pull rates are so bad, I literally get sad opening them. I wish they had classes on adult shit like insurance and taxes and house maintenance. Yeah, I'm lucky that my parents live close by. They live like, I don't know, like 40 minutes away maybe. So if I have problems with my house, my dad comes and helps me farmer fix it so I don't have to pay an actual professional to do it properly. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pulls made me depressed. Same, bestie. I only indulge in affordable hobbies like Warhammer and trading card games. I've been going to a lot more concerts than I wanted to. I wish I could do stuff like that. I honestly can't afford it though, because I can't just go to a concert. I have to get on a plane and I have to make accommodations. Like there's nothing near me. So anytime I want to do something like that, I have to make a whole trip out of it. So it's just not really worth it. Despite the downsides, your life sounds comfy. I like my life actually. Like I complain about being an adult, but I like my life. I like living outside of civilization and being alone with my garden and my dog. I consider going to the city if I ever come into like money, but I don't know if I'd actually like it. I don't know. I'm so used to living in the middle of nowhere. I might actually not like the city. I feel like the best compromise is right outside the city. True. If I could move anywhere, I would probably move like in a smaller town close to a city. So I could still get to the city easily for things, but I would have the small town vibe. My parents are DIYers and my grandmother is a contractor. My family is set when it comes to fixing stuff. That's amazing. That is such an asset to have. I feel like I have an asset in my family too, just because they're farmers. So we have the mentality of if there's a will, there's a way. And that kind of rubbed off on me too. We'll find a way to do it. It might not be the correct way, but we'll get it done. Farmers make do. Cities are expensive. I didn't realize how, like, so where I live, groceries and things are hella expensive because, like, we're in the middle of nowhere. And it has to be, like, trucked in, you know? So, like, in a small community, groceries are more expensive than the city, I will say. But everything else in the city is hella expensive. I'm kind of scared for Offkai because I know California is expensive. So I'm going to be... I don't know. We'll see how the prices are. But also I pay everything Canadian. So that's a little scary. I'll be looking for all the free samples. Like, I know Glitch Stars will pay for a meal for sure. But, we'll see how expensive everything else is. Tall and strong. Prefer for 10... What? $10 bag of chips? You're joking me right now. I really loved living in the city when I lived alone, walking distance to bars and entertainment, but kids, dogs need a yard. I love my yard. I don't think I could live in an apartment. Well, I don't know. I really like my garden and my yard. I like sitting outside in my yard with my dog. I like having a garden. I like having an outdoor area to sit and read my book. I don't know if I could live in an apartment, like, long term. If you're eating at a fast food joint, always get the app. Usually have deals to save money. Oh, I did not know that. I remember when I went to TwitchCon for the first time. Me and Duologs went together because I was so anxious. I was like, I need someone to go with me. I cannot go alone. And we went to the like food court at the convention. I was either at the convention or at one of the like hotels, because you know in Vegas the hotels are like very fancy, and they had pretzels, and I'd never had a soft pretzel before, so I was like, ooh, I want to get a soft pretzel. And so we got one, and it was so expensive. It was like $15 for like a soft pretzel and like the cheese sauce or whatever sauce it was. But the pretzel was cold and the sauce was cold and it was like hard. And I was like, wow, this is really disappointing. Great $15 well spent. It was either at the convention center or it was at like a Vegas hotel. I can't remember, but either way, it would have been upcharged. I like apartments because less things to maintain, but having a yard sounds nice. It is a lot to maintain. Like, I had to learn how to use a lawnmower this year. Like a push lawnmower. I'd never used one before. And now I'm a pro. I can yank that chain in one go and it starts up for me. I'm a pro. It's a gas lawnmower. I had to go to the gas station with a jerry can and ask the person there, how do I do this? And he was like, how do you do what? And I'm like, how do I put gas in this and get it into my lawnmower? And he's like, oh, let me show you. And I now I'm capable. I put gas in a jerry can. I brought the jerry can back to my house. I put the gas in the lawnmower. I crank it and I go. I can do things. You don't have a riding mower like a John Deere? My parents do at their farm, but like I have a little house, so I don't need a riding lawnmower. I bought like a cheap used lawnmower off the garage sale. It was like $40 and it's a beast. Like I feel like I seriously got biceps just from cutting my grass this summer. Cuz you really have to like manhandle it. Otherwise it doesn't go. Proof. Wait until you need to sharpen or replace your mower blades. Wait, is that a thing? I thought they were just good to go forever. Dang it. I think I had to sharpen mine actually. Because I noticed I was cutting my grass like 3 days ago and like the dandelions, like it would cut the grass fine, but it didn't like properly cut the dandelions all the way. It just like folded them down. And I was like, that's weird. But I just kept going. I was gifted an electric lawnmower trimmer and never looked back. Not having to do gas is nice. Ooh, electric would be nice. I didn't even know they had electric lawnmowers. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not aware of them. Forever blades? I don't know. I didn't think that like you'd use a lawnmower enough you need to get new blades. I just didn't think of that. Space Marine 2 win? When I get back from Offkai, probably next week, we'll say. We'll see how dead I am after Offkai and all the socializing. Thank you for the follow, Noodle Knight. That's such a cute name. Angle grinder. Oh, wait. Yeah, we'll do Space Marine 1 first, not 2. My bad. I want to do Space Marines 1. Even, yeah, I heard the remaster isn't the best, but I think I should do 1 before I do 2, if I'm going to do them anyways. I don't know. The shop at my parents' house is like a death trap. There's just like tools and saws and like blades and like they have a welder. They have like half-finished like death machines in there. Like I'm like, hey dad, I need to get something from the shop. And he'll be like, okay, just like watch out for where you're walking. I'm like, why? And he's like, oh, I have a tractor tore apart, I got a car tore apart, I got the welder out, I got the air compressor going. I'm like, oh, okay, great. He's like, just don't touch nothing. I'm like, okay. We literally have every tool out here. Like when I say they do everything themselves, I mean they do everything themselves. TIG MIG or stick welder? I don't know. I don't know how to weld. It's like on wheels. Are welders always on wheels? This one's on wheels. I'm a welder, just assume everything is either hot, heavy, or sharp. Yeah, basically, that's what I learned as a kid. Everything is either hot, heavy, or sharp, or it will electrocute you. Like fences. I do have a toolkit or a toolbox. I don't have any other. No, wait. I have a toolbox. And I have a lawnmower. I wanted to get a whippersnapper, but they're too expensive. They're freaking expensive. So I don't know how you. Maybe I'm stupid. How do you cut your grass so it's nice around everything without a whippersnapper? Or do you just need to get a whipper? Because like, I'm trying really hard to make my yard look nice. A whippersnapper? Do you guys not know? Am I saying it wrong? Weed whacker? A string trimmer? Yeah, I think they're all the same thing, aren't they? You need a trimmer to do the edging. Well, it looks so bad if I have tall grass around my garden, like my flower bed, and the rest of my yard is cut. I'm like, wow, that looks just real bad. That just looks so bad. But I went to buy one at like Home Depot and it was like $300. So I'm like, well, guess we're not using that anymore. A string cutter. Yeah. Just use scissors? That would take me forever. Weed whacker is the most used term. Interesting. My family's always called it a whippersnapper. I'm just realizing that's weird, I guess. Hello, a buddy of mine recommended you and I wanted to stop by. I hope your day is going well. Oh, thank you! That's so nice! Well, thank you for stopping by, Punderful Owl. I hope you like your stay. A yard scythe? Wow, that's a cool word for it. As a lawn guy, it's really funny to me to tell people I'm good at edging. There's like one of my neighbors down the street. I should ask him if I can use his whippersnapper. One of the guys down my street, he cuts his grass into a diamond pattern. I'm like, how do you do that? Mine looks like I went at my lawn with a hatchet. It's like a little bit different in each spot. But it's still cut, so it's fine. I mean, it counts. But like, how do you make it into a diamond pattern? It's crazy. It's like all perfectly the same length. And it's like green and it's like edged nice. Edging a lawn is oddly satisfying. We are such dads here. Uncles and dads. I'm here for it. I'm glad that I can talk about this with you guys. I never learned the secret to a neat lawn. Me either. At the farm, we just do it out of necessity, not to make it look nice. I do mine like a picture frame. Oh, you like start on the outside and go all the way into the middle? Ooh, I would like to put clover in my lawn too, actually. Clover is really good for the environment. And you don't have to cut it all the time. And you don't get weeds in it. And it's very, like, green and, like, plush. I haven't gone around to it, but I'm gonna seed clover to it at one point. Well, the seeds are coming up in my garden, so that's nice. Some of them. My cucumbers haven't come up. I'm very sad about it because I wanted to make pickles. I do have a lawn gnome, but he fell off my stair, like my outdoor stair, and his head came off. So he's out there, he's just headless. He's ready for Halloween. He still looks cute without his head. You mow in rows in one direction until the lawn is cut. Then you mow perpendicular of how you initially cut it to get the pattern. Oh, wait, what? So you mow it short first and then you mow on top of it again to get the pattern? I always wondered how people did the fancy patterns. I feel like that would take way too much planning. We just pay people to do my lawn while we work on the solar panel array in my backyard. Oh, solar! I would love to do solar! That's cool. You watching a Gilliman video today for the Space Marine 1 prep? Oh, should I? Do I need... I should do that. Gilliman. It's like getting char lines on a grilling steak. Oh, you have to get char lines on your steak to make it taste better. You have to. The aesthetic makes it taste better. Promise. Trust. That's my next thing. I want to learn how to barbecue. I don't know how to barbecue. And I'm scared of propane, so that's why I don't have a barbecue. Because I have this fear that the propane is going to explode when I open it and when I turn the barbecue on, so I haven't got one yet. I know it sounds stupid, but it's really, like, I actually have a fear of pressurized gas. Charcoal it is. Would they have charcoal barbecues? I did not know that. Like, I'm actually so scared I'm gonna explode myself if I get a propane barbecue. You do not deal in propane or propane products? Not really. I worked in a wet chemistry lab, so we didn't use, like, pressurized stuff. Stim is rage. What am I rage baiting about? What's bad? What's bad about what I said? Damn it, Bobby. The comment. Bye, Stim. Have a good rest of the stream. I'm going back to work. See you at Offkai or somehow if you're live in 4 hours. Bye, Mac. I probably won't be live in 4 hours. I have too much Offkai stuff to do, but I'll see you at Offkai, most likely. If you come to my meet and greet. Damn it, Bobby. Propane explosions only happen in video games. I don't even like propane. Would never get a was it propane or natural gas stove? Because I'm scared to, like, put the lighter up to the burner and have it explode. They had to call in the bomb squad at my high school to detonate old chemistry stuff, and one of the teachers retired and they figured out what he had in his back room. What? Oh my god, what did he have? Just, like, old expired stuff, or what? Chemistry teachers are, like, the coolest teachers, though, don't you agree? I feel like all my science teachers, other than physics, were the coolest teachers. They didn't tell us, but it was apparently volatile and unlabeled. That tracks. The unlabeled especially. My chem teacher was actually insane, like, needed crazy therapy. So was mine! My chem teacher was, like, absolutely insane. I feel like you have to be insane to, like, major in chemistry. And work with children. Doing both seems like, yeah, you'd have to be a little insane. I know what you mean. I've seen Breaking Bad. My science teachers were the coolest, though. They always did, like, crazy experiments and, like, didn't care if we, like, didn't do our work. College was different. Like, organic chemistry, whole different vibe. Organic chemistry, whole different vibe than high school chemistry. Hi, Bye Raven Wings. Good morning or afternoon. College chem is, like, a really scary. If you're in college chem right now, I'm sending you thoughts and prayers. I feel like nothing I learned in chemistry, well, that's not true. I'm saying nothing I really learned in science translated to my job working in a chem lab, other than, like, lab protocols. But I guess I learned some things. Thank you for the follow. Laimu Sengoku Era Enjoyer. Thank you. Ooh, I have a suggestion for reacts in this topic. Channel called Explosions and Fire. It's an Aussie guy in his shed. That is so funny. And exactly what I think an Aussie guy in his shed would be doing. Making explosions. I actually love experimenting with things, which is really funny because I'm like scared of propane and compressed gases, but I love experimenting with chemicals. I studied English, music, and philosophy, and now I work in data analysis. Wow, that is quite the departure. Do you like data analysis? I couldn't do it. Or the one guy that electrocutes himself all the time, me working with electric fences. My dad telling me that the fence isn't hot, but guess what? It was hot. It was hot literally every time, even though he told me it wasn't. He's like, gotta keep you on your toes, Stim. Gotta keep you on your toes. It's always hot. After seeing metal ignite in water, I never made fun of chemistry again. You know what's always hot, Stim? Boom! Wow, the Riz, Sammy, holy. I actually really want to learn welding. Do you think welding is something you could teach yourself? I have access to welding materials. If I watched a YouTube video on it, like I can't get my dad to teach me because he won't teach me. He'll be like, I'm too busy for that. Who's gonna fix this fence? If I'm teaching you to weld, what are you gonna do your welding for, Stim? I gotta fix this fence, the cows are out. You gotta chase the geese in. You think I got time to just teach you welding for fun? That's my dad. Yeah, we have welding gloves and helmets. Or face masks, I guess. All the old people in welding now are self-taught at like 16. That's probably true, actually. Taught by their parents. Just keep a fire extinguisher near. Man, I had a friend who went into welding, like from high school. And he makes so much money welding, it's insane. I had no idea the trades paid so well. But he also does like special welding. He welds like stainless steel. I think it's like special. I like went down a rabbit hole of watching welding videos. And it's like this guy goes to like amusement parks and like inspects the welds on them. And I found it very interesting. I'm like, what's wrong with me that I love looking at welds and I don't know anything about welding? That's TIG welding. Yeah, in Canada you have to get like a red seal. I don't know if that's the same in America. And I like once you have your red seal or your journeyman, you can like work anywhere. Welding pays well, but it's a hard job to do. Hi, Umi. Welding is both the lowest paid and highest paid trade depending on what you do. Really? I just assume all trade jobs are above average pay. After you learn welding, you can't stop looking at welds on random stuff. I love learning about trades. I wish I went into trades. I would probably go into welding. Definitely should have gone into electrical work like my dad. Union jobs are so much better than anything else unless you're a Nepo hire. True! True. Man, I once had a plumber come to my house. He charged me like, I think my bill was like $350, and most of that was just like to come look at my plumbing stuff and be like, yeah, I'm going to have to order a part for that. And he left. I was like, well, you did nothing. What? You just said, I'm going to need a part, and then he left. That was $300. Damn, okay. If trade pays well, what's the point of college? Well, they have different purposes. College is like more specialized study. It's like more theory based, I think, where trades is like hands-on work. There's going to be a shortage in trade jobs in the next few years. I feel like there's always a shortage in trade jobs. I remember like my parents always told me to not go to college and go into trades. And I was like, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to be a philanthropist. I'm going to college. And now I'm like, dang, I should have gone to a trade. I should have gone into a trade. College is where you party, then your last year, remember, you need to actually pass your degree. In college, I was pretty studious. I've never really been a party person. I do feel like I should have gone for something more useful, though. I guess environmental stuff is useful, but not in my area. Yeah, it depends on your major. I read something that said that getting a bachelor's degree in college is now like the new high school diploma. And like getting a master's is like the new bachelor's degree. And getting a PhD or like a doctorate is now the new master's. Like like no one cares if you get a bachelor's anymore. It's like a prerequisite for everything. Which is kind of messed up in my opinion. I don't think you should have to go to college, honestly. It's kind of funny. Maybe it's just based on the people I know, but most of them, the majority of the most successful people I know have not gone to college. Like I know a couple people who have become like doctors and like lawyers and stuff, but like everyone else, most of them haven't even gone to college. Two people I know who are super successful never even finished high school, but they are just really smart, I guess, or real big go-getters. I got gaslit into thinking everyone at college would be as interested as me in learning, studying for its own sake. Oh, yeah, that's also true. I thought that about college too. I thought it was gonna be like Harry Potter, where everyone's like super excited about their classes. I don't know. I was like, wow, we're gonna be like learning things and like talking about academics and like history and the world state and economy. That wasn't what happened. That wasn't what happened at all. Oh yeah, I definitely had professors who hated being there too. Actually, most of my professors hated being there. I only had a few good professors. I had really good high school teachers, but in college, I felt like most of my professors hated being there, didn't care about, thank you for the head patties, didn't care about the class, didn't care about the content. Most of them were like, I don't even have a degree in this, I just have to teach this class. I wish it was in my specialty, but because it's not, I'll just teach you the bare minimum. I was like, okay. They're like, I don't even know why I'm teaching this. It's not even my specialty. Thank you for the follow, Pharaohada. Pharaohada. A lot of newer teachers are really burnt out. Yeah, I have a friend who's a teacher, an elementary school teacher, and feel bad for her. I think she's more overworked than I am. It's also like really sad. I don't know how it is in America, but in Canada, there's like no funding for education. And I actually went and helped her decorate her class at the start of the year because she teaches like little kids. Like, I think they were grade 1 or grade 2. And I helped her decorate her classroom. And I asked her like if she got like how much the school paid them for decorations. And she said, no, this is all me. Everything you see in my classroom, I bought for my kids, like for my students. The school doesn't provide anything. She's like, I bought all the decorations, I bought all the supplies, I bought the extra books, I bought the markers, the crayons, I bought the posters, I bought like literally everything. I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, I probably spent like $600 just getting my classroom ready. And that's like throughout the year they spend money on stuff like that. In the UK, it's bad as well. Is it bad everywhere? Like literally everywhere? That's so sad. Yeah, teachers have to buy everything themselves. She's like, she would tell me she would go to Costco and buy like those big snack packs, like big bulk boxes of snacks, because there were like kids in her class that like never had snacks or lunches, and she would keep them to give them out to the kids who didn't have lunches. Like the school didn't provide literally anything or any you couldn't even expense it. Like they just would be like, you can if you want, but we don't recommend. My teacher mom had to buy toilet paper for her kids. Whoa! It's sad. Like that is such a difficult job to begin with. And then like there's no funding for it and their pay is terrible. My wife has a master's degree doing speech pathology for special needs kids and makes half of what I'm doing. It's the most depressing thing. Wow. I'm the same here. We buy all kinds of snacks because most of our kids are lower income. Man, I'm depressed thinking about the state of the world and education. It's really depressing if you think about it. Why invest in education when these kids want to get famous on the internet? That's true. Actually, like, no, that's not true. That's bad. But like, it's true that kids just want to get famous. Literally every kid so they did like my best friend is a teacher, so we talk about it a lot because she like rants about her job and how unfair it is. She did like a thing where she asked the kids like what they wanted to be when they grew up, and like she said 60% of the class wanted to be a YouTuber. And they were like, these kids were like 8. So like not that old. I was like, holy. That's really young to be influenced into being a YouTuber. Like 8 years old? 7 or 8? We're cooked. Influencer is a top pick. The world is over. The world is over. We're all gonna be YouTubers. Back in my day, it was being a firefighter. I used to want to be a horse when I grew up, so I mean... Times have changed a bit. I just wanted to be a horse. And then I wanted to be a doctor, and then I wanted to be a veterinarian. I did none of those things. There's gonna be another depression in the next couple years. Don't say that! I have no way of surviving a depression. Horse avatar for Stim right now? What do you mean? Professional. Thank you for gifting a sub to professional horse girl. Wonderful owl. Oh my god. That killed me. Man, I wish I could afford a horse. They're heckin' expensive. Both my kids asked for gaming PCs and streaming mics by... No! Actually? Streaming mics and PCs at 7 years old. No way. I didn't even know what that was when I was 7. I mean, times have changed, but like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's true. It didn't exist when I was 7. I don't like how recent are streamers? I feel like streamers just got recent. Well, maybe I'm just like behind the times, but like in the last 5 years, streamers got popular, or maybe 10 years. Horses in Texas are around $500. Like a broke horse, because broke horses here are like around $5,000. I guess that's like what, 3,500 American. 2010 is when I started watching people on Twitch or Justin TV or whatever it was called. I don't even know what Justin TV is. I was watching Twitch pretty often in mid-college. I don't remember when I started watching Twitch. I think I was late to it though. What I remember, like the YouTube Let's Plays. That's like when I started like noticing it was a thing. Or the old makeup channels. That was when I really liked YouTube, when the makeup artist took over and all the drama happened. I still remember in 2016 when I first became a Twitch mod. Wow! The algorithm saved me from ever noticing them. Man, that was the time to be alive. The YouTube dramas. When did like the React meta start? Does anyone know? It has to be relatively recent. I don't ever remember Reacts being popular until like I started noticing them like this year. When I think about YouTube, I used to think about Let's Plays and like tutorials. And now it's like all YouTube is Reacts. At least 5 years? Oh, okay. I started watching YouTube thanks to Minicraft and specifically Yogscast. Reacts were popular in 2010s with shock vids. Oh, I wasn't part of that. I miss Let's Play days. Those are now in streams. That's true. I was a Vanos kid. Oh, I don't know who that is. It got popular during COVID. Oh, the try not to laugh videos. I remember those. I used to just watch Let's Plays. Or I didn't even really watch them. I would listen to them. That's all I watched. And makeup videos. Cause I'm just a girl. It is interesting seeing how some of those YouTube content creators have transitioned into streamers. Stim, are you Patrick? Yeah, I am. OG RuneScape vids back in 2007. I was such a nerd. I used to watch the Race to World First for World of Warcraft. There was a very big React channel from Canada, the one with the regular guests with the Something Bros. Hmm. I don't really I don't really remember all this stuff. I remember what's it called? I remember like the comedian ones, like Jenna Marbles. Like I remember those kind of YouTubers. I remember the day in the life. Remember how popular that was? The vlogging stuff that got so popular. They tried to copyright the word react. Oh my god, that's crazy. Before YouTube, there was E-Bombs World and Newgrounds that were insanely popular. Wow, it's weird to look back through all the YouTube metas and think we're in a YouTube meta right now. We're in the React meta. Like, there's always gonna be the people who jump on the metas. And I honestly don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's like you're jumping on the trends and you're jumping on the metas. That's like what you should do if you want to grow. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Hello, Gage! Hello, welcome, Raiders. We're just talking about YouTube metas through the history of YouTube randomly. Hi, my name is Stimpack. I am the manager of Glitchstars Virus. I'm kind of a cute dragon thing. We're talking about YouTube. We're talking about, there was the Let's Play meta. There was the vlogging meta. There was the React meta. What else was there? There was Day in the Life meta. The VTuber Bricky meta, that is actually a thing. It is. I should show you my recommended page. It's all VTubers reacting to Bricky within the last month. Nimnim has a pretty cool YouTube channel. You should subscribe. You should. Go check out Nimnim. You can link your channel, Gage. Wait, do you have VIP? You should, right? Yeah, you can link your channel, Gage. I actually used to watch Nimnim's what were they? They're like vlogs. Nimnim was part of the vlog meta. Yeah, day in the life stuff was very popular. Bricky has secured his place in internet history with his vids. He really has. I used to vlogs. I should bring those back. I really love those, but I'm a sucker for vlogs. I love vlogs. I think I fell asleep for about 2 months in a row purely listening to people's reacting to Bricky videos. I fall asleep listening to tarot card readings. It's very effective. I discovered Glitch Stars through the VTuber Bricky Reacts. Did you? Well, I'm happy that you found us then. Gage hasn't found a new tree to do vlogs. Sag. I'm not above doing what's trending if I like it. I will not do a trend if I don't like it. Because, like, I'm not gonna sell myself out for something I don't like. But if there's a trend that I actually like, I have no problems doing it. There are some people who are like, what's the word? They don't want to. How do I say this? There are some people who think that they don't want to do trends because it's cheating. And that's fair too. If you have a niche that you want to stay within, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I also don't think you should look down on people who are doing the meta and the trend because they're literally forced to do that if you want to grow. As long as you're not like doing it in bad faith. Like if you can tell, I feel like you could tell though when someone's doing it just for like money or like bad reasons, and when someone's doing it and they actually enjoy it. You can definitely tell. Play the game, respect the grind. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I discovered glitch starts through Sunny and her reacts got me to the rest of glitch. Yay for Sunny! Do trends count as a YouTube meta? Like when everyone was doing Ice Bucket? I think it depends how long the trend lasts. There are trends that are like a flash in the pan. They'll trend for like a week, a few days, a couple months. And then there's like metas which trend for years. So I feel like reacts right now are the meta. Because people like watching reacts. It's like what is popular right now. Just like people used to love watching vlogs. People used to love watching Let's Plays. People used to love watching tutorials. I think people still do like watching tutorials. I feel like those are the metas. Because that's like what's popular and what's being pushed by the platforms for like a few years, you know. The video essay meta, yeah, there's like lots of metas out there. I think personally to me, I think it's kind of silly to like protest doing a meta because you think you're better than it. Because you're just kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. If you like, I don't know. Maybe that's the influencer in me coming out. You kind of have to follow trends. Well, you also have to kind of follow metas and trends unless you're just already like have a huge following to get seen. No one's gonna see you. Like sadly, especially on Twitch, no one's gonna see you if you're just like doing your own thing on one corner of the internet. Yeah, it's more about being what's pushed by the platform. But I feel like, in my experience, as a Instagram influencer, there's ways to incorporate trends and metas into your content that serves you and your content instead of you serving the meta. Like you can kind of take whatever's trending, whatever's popular, and find a way to do it that fits you and your content and your community. You don't have to like sell out. You can definitely find a way to incorporate it into what you already do. There are the people who sell out and just like go ham, and that's fine too. I respect that if like that's their game, but you can like you don't have to do everything. You can find things to suit you. You don't have to like you know, suit the meta. That makes sense. My Oshi just likes playing Fallout and B clicking games. That's so cute. Trends are reinforced by the algorithm on YouTube. It's like a science you have to follow to ensure your thumbnail. Yeah, there's kind of, yeah. That's part of content planning. There are definitely things you can do to like fit into whatever the algorithm is, and you should be doing them. There's no reason not to. There's really no reason not to fit your content into the algorithm. Unless you're just like unless you just don't know, or you're just like deciding you're going to go against the grain. I think a balance of trending and original ideas are good. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean by you can fit in metas and trends into your content to work for you if you do it right. Not like you don't have to do you can't do every trend. I mean, you can, but like why? Why would you? You have to stay yourself. Well, you don't have to. Some people don't, but you should stay true to yourself and what you like and dislike, and just fit that into the algorithm and the trends. That just means their faith in the emperor isn't strong enough to sustain the internet when it should. I kind of wish the internet would die, honestly. I would be fine. I could live off the land. I can rent a lawnmower. I can garden. I could like I could survive. Sim, your job is the internet. You know, you have a good point, but I feel like I wouldn't have to work. I wouldn't have to work if the internet died. I could just live off the land and implement a trade system. I found you because Warhammer and VTuber. Yay! The meta's working, infinite freedom. I am actually super happy that I started doing Warhammer stuff because it's brought me to a lot of amazing people. So we're going back to bartering? I would love to barter. But how will you run your tractor bikini model business? Well, there's nothing stopping me from riding a tractor in a bikini with no internet. People just gotta show up for it. But how will you talk to all your favorite women and glitch stars if you have no internet? That's true. That's true. That is the only downside. Losing contact with people on the internet. That's true. I didn't think about that. This is why I'm an idea person, not a details person. Oh, you're not putting bikinis on the tractors? You would need a huge bikini to fit on a tractor. Carrier pigeon time. You know what's so funny? There was a person who lost their pet parrot in like a nearby town to me. And they were like posting about it all over socials looking for their parrot, saying, if you see this parrot, call this number. And it was like months had gone by and they're like, well, the parrot's dead. There's no way the parrot is ever coming back. They found this parrot one province away. So like one state away. They found this parrot. This parrot had like traveled I don't know how many miles, a long heckin' way to a whole nother like province and was fine. Isn't that crazy? I was like, how did a parrot survive that long? Also, I didn't think parrots could fly. Like, that's insane. It just wanted to sightsee. I thought it would have been eaten by an owl or an eagle, or would have like died in the wind, or would have like, I don't know. What? What did I say? What did I say this time? Stim, they have wings? Well, so do ducks and chickens, and they don't really fly. Okay, like I know they can fly, but I mean like a chicken can fly, but a chicken cannot fly like 500 miles. A chicken can fly like a few feet. Okay, I have had pet ducks and they have never flown. They have never flown. Geese migrate? Do ducks migrate? Wait, what? I might be getting my birds confused. I literally have ducks and they've never flown before. Don't they remove the flight pinions or something to make pet ducks flightless? I don't know. We've never done anything to our ducks. Ducks, dude, never see them during winter at the park? Oh shit, you're right. Wait, I gotta look this up. Do ducks migrate? Yes, many duck species migrate. Oh! Wait, do ducks migrate in Canada? Maybe it's the Canadian ducks that don't. Ducks breed in Canada during the spring and summer and then migrate south for the winter. Oh. Some ducks, however, may stay in Canada if there's open water. See? Some ducks stay. They don't want to lose their health care. They can still fly. Okay, so are you telling me pet parrots can fly like an actual bird? Like a pet parrot can fly as much as like a robin? Is that what you're telling me? Like not the tropical ones and like wherever parrots are, but like a pet parrot. No way. Do pet parrots fly? Yes, parrots can. Google's AI, like whatever it gives you the AI overview, was like, yes, parrots can fly, and that's it. Uh-huh. Interesting. Well, the more you know, I guess. Like I know like the big parrots in like what do you mean rage bait? I know like the big parrots can, like the ones in Hawaii or wherever parrots are from. But I didn't think like the smaller pet parrots can. I just thought they were bred to like not be uh like like flying everywhere. I think it's valid. I've never seen a parrot fly more than like a few feet. Oh, like how pugs are bred not to be able to breathe. Okay, not like that, but like kind of. You know when we breed animals to have certain traits? Have you not thought that they've bred parrots like breeded parrots to not fly as much as a wild parrot? I don't think that's insane to think of. See, we did that to chickens. Coming from a farm, we have chickens that don't fly and we have ducks that don't fly. So don't be coming at me saying, oh, you're stupid for not knowing parrots fly. Like, yeah, obviously big parrots fly, but I didn't think pet parrots did because I thought they were bred not to have like flying capabilities across provinces. I can imagine a parrot flying like around your house, but like not across Canada. There are thousands of years of domesticated animals, but with parrots, it's maybe 100 years. Oh, are parrots like a new thing? Yeah, I know chickens can fly short distances, but like I could not expect a chicken because in this case, in this story, this parrot flew like 500 miles. I cannot imagine a parrot flying 500 miles and surviving. I just can't. Like a pet parrot. I think that's insane. I also can't imagine a chicken flying like 500 miles because a chicken can't. I can't believe I'm sitting here arguing semantics about pet parrots with you, chat. Does anyone even have a pet parrot here? Are you all parrot experts now? Like, what? Parrots come from Australia? What? Do they? Okay, we're doing bird reacts, not Warhammer reacts. No, no, no. I need to do the Warhammer react. I promised. And I do want to watch it. I had a pet parrot and accidentally let it fly away when I was a kid. This is my trauma. I'm sorry if this is triggering you. Okay, 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 okay. Don't tell me what to do. Man, I'm gonna fight someone in a second here. I'm smart. I have a degree in environmental science. I know things, just not about pet parrots, I guess. You didn't know you could grill with charcoal though? I knew you can grill with charcoal. I just didn't know you could buy charcoal barbecues. Like, obviously I know you can cook with charcoal. Like, that's how they cook on, like, campfires and things. Like, the coals. Or some people use charcoal. I just didn't know you could buy, like, barbecue specifically for charcoal. I've never seen that. I've only seen propane barbecues. So if a parrot not native in Canada escaped, would it be an invasive species? I don't think so. I know they don't use charcoal for campfires. I'm saying there's people who they put charcoal in the ground and make a charcoal like cooker if you're surviving in the wilderness sometimes. There's people who make charcoal pits or whatever to cook things in. I'm not saying that's the same thing as a campfire. Like, have you ever been to a pig roast? They use charcoal. And they, like, cook it in the ground in charcoal. Or I don't know if it's a pig roast, but some animal they cook in the ground with charcoal. Ah, yes, I love seeing the Canadian parrot in the Canadian rainforest. Oh my god, this is derailed so much. What are we even talking about? I don't know. I thought it was a funny story. I didn't think everyone was gonna jump on me for a pet parrot flying. I think that's called barbacoa, cooking underground. Maybe. We love you for being this way. What do you mean? Being this way? Chat attacking a streamer? Never. Okay, we will do the react now. I gotta go make another cup of coffee. And then we'll do it. I'll even go to the react screen. I'll do it. I'll do the thing. Oh, an ad is starting. Okay, I'm gonna go get my coffee while the ad starts so no one misses anything. Brat successfully beaten. I've not been beaten, and I'm not a brat. Okay. Oh yeah, redeems off. I gotta do that. I gotta do it. Ba boo boo beep boo ba bap. Da da da. See that shit online, not in person. See what happens. Yeah, online, not in person. Cats are a wildly invasive species. Oh yeah, my neighbors always complain. Actually, not my neighbors, people in my town always complain that there's like cats pooping in their garden. And I'm like, what are you gonna do about it though? Like, how are you gonna keep a cat out of your garden? I don't think you literally can't. You can't keep a cat out of your garden. They're like, they were saying, come get your cat and pick up its poop out of my garden. And I'm like, not to me, but like they were ranting. You know how towns have like their own like rant pages, community pages? And there's like these people who always complain about these like stray cats telling cat owners to come and pick up the poop out of their yard. It's wild. It's wild. Actually, my local vet area is really good. They do discounted um spays and neuters for stray animals. So you can bring in like farm cats or like stray cats or dogs and they will neuter them for like really reduced costs. But like the shelters are all full. So they don't know what to do with them afterwards. And it doesn't fix the problem of animals pooping in your yard. But at the same time, I'm like, what do you like? How do you keep animals out of your yard? Like, it's nature. How are you gonna complain about bird and cat poop in your yard? It's literally nature. Like, what? Like, put a bubble around your yard if you don't want any like poop in it. That's insane to me. I think it's different if you like literally watch someone let their dog poop in your yard and they don't pick it up. Like you should clean up after your animals. But like wild animals coming and pooping in your yard and blaming it on the people in the town is so weird to me. I think that's all the redeems. A herd of wild boars? Whoa, that's kind of scary. Wild boars scare me. I paused all the redeems. Okay. I turned them all off, I think. Other than the I left the like hair and glasses redeems on. Stim, do you poop in people's yards? No, but I have peed in a bush before. I think that is a universal experience. People pee in bushes. I have not pooped in someone's yard, though. No, I have not done that. Have you done that, Gage? Wait, I'm supposed to be doing a react. I'm getting too heated. I want to fight everybody today. I just want to fight today. Maybe ask Mochi if she pooped in someone's yard. That's probably her thing. Don't make fun of Mochi! She was a child when she pooped in the shower. 1 hour 40 and hasn't started started. That's a yapaholic right there. It's because Chad is baiting me. What did she do? Never mind. You didn't hear that from me. Never mind. Never mind. Dang it. I just assumed that people knew that already. Never mind. Okay, I am going to go get a coffee and we'll start the react. Okay, bye. I'll be right back. Be good. Don't be mean to me. Okay. Look at that brat face. I'll fight you. I'm not a brat. I'm a baby girl, not a brat. It's different. She's about to say stick 'em up. It's not different by much. Alright. Let's watch the movie. Oh, it's been 2 hours almost. We need a tier list of the glitch stars by the level of brattiness. Who do you think is the brattiest in glitch stars before I start this? I think we had that question on the game show, didn't we? Or no, it was girl. No, we did, didn't we? Leah. Mamie, and it's not even close. I think Mamie and Leah are both very good answers. Wait, let me make myself smaller. We have the bullyable. There's a bullyable tier list? What? Mamie is S tier galaxy level brat. You guys, Mamie? She's spunky. Mamie kind of scares me sometimes. She's spunky. I've told her, like, Mamie, you know, instead of responding to mean comments, you can just say nothing. Because you will absolutely destroy that commenter. She's cute, but she'll end you. Who is the least bratty? Kana. I think Kana. Kana's so sweet. Make sure I'm starting this over. Or Emerdy. Sometimes you need to annihilate people in the comment section. Yeah, I just started ignoring. I ignore it. I don't respond to mean comments because usually they just want to rage bait me into responding. All right, are we ready? Are we ready? The Imperium's 10 worst jobs by Luton. We're finally gonna learn. I'm gonna be educated on the worst jobs in Warhammer, which is quite scary to think about. I think the worst job number 1 is servitor. I'm gonna call it now. But let's find out. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. War never changes. When people forget their duty, they are no longer human. They become something less than beasts. They have no place in the bosom. In the bosom? They have no place in the bosom of humanity? Okay. Choice of words. Nor in the heart of the Emperor. Let them die and be quickly forgotten. Holy Synod of the Adeptus Ministorum. The worst Imperial jobs.
When we look at the lives of those serving the Imperium, we must also understand that it is assumed that all of their service is at the behest and honour of serving the Emperor of Man and the Imperium itself. Now, while the official line from the Administratum would be that to give yourself in whatever means are required for the betterment of the Imperium is a noble cause, just and above all else a required task, it's worth remembering that these people are still humans serving in the Imperium, not superhuman Astartes or fanatical religious zealots, not cultish machine worshippers or drug-crazed high.
I always forget that there are, like, just regular, everyday humans part of the Imperium, because you don't really hear about them.
Gang members, just your average person trying to stay alive and do the best that they can. Now, while undoubtedly citizens of the Imperium know that they give to a greater cause and are indoctrinated from birth into the Imperial truth, at the same time you can't escape the harsh realities of some of the worst jobs imaginable for those poor saps who end up designated with such a plight in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. Also, I think a short disclaimer is in order. By our standards, most jobs in the Imperium are often not really what you would quantify as jobs. You might simply be compelled by your seniors toward a role that then becomes your lot in life. There's really
I coughed. I think that's good to establish that there's a difference between jobs and roles. Because a lot of the time, you're just told to do something and you're just gonna do that. You don't really apply for jobs, I don't think. You're just like, well, you're gonna be doing this now. Good luck. Or not good luck. Jobs are more like being in a clan in 40k. You probably get born into jobs or certain roles. I would assume, based on like if your family did it, maybe. Yeah, you do a job and then your descendants inherit it. Man, that would suck to be born into a shitty job and you can't get out of it. I guess that happens in the real world too, though, doesn't it? Career paths on a factory world are limited. True. A lot of your opportunities are decided at birth by who your family is and where you live. I feel like we don't really talk about it, but it's true. The Imperium is propped up on a pile of misery and suffering. So is the real world.
no true unified or standardized currency system within the Imperium itself either. To do so would be challenging, if not impossible, given the distant scale and general instability of the Imperium as a whole. While hive cities, for example, may use credits within them, or other planets operate on a more basic bartering system, some even using coinage, there's also the Throne Gelt, which is likely as close to being a universal payment as exists, and this is often used by, say, rogue traders and inquisitors who are travelling between systems. Overall, though, there's no unified economic system. It's all based on tithes and requirements for the Imperium's needs. It's all fairly inconsistent. While some jobs are paid and unpaid, it's often unlikely that you're going to have a literal choice in what your assigned lot in life is. People aren't going to be going out to school and then choosing a vocation, although obviously for some jobs, some roles, some level of moderate education is required so that you can best interact with the materials and data slates that you're having to handle.
I'm muted again. What the heck? OBS, sorry. This has opened a new can of worms. I was saying how I don't actually know how the economy works in this. Like, it's saying that most, like, you don't really get paid for your jobs. Like, how do they buy things? Is it like, how does it work? Like, how does the economy work? I'm so interested in this. I want to know how it works. Like, do they have grocery stores? I guess it's like a economy that's always at war, so they wouldn't have like traditional grocery, like, I don't like, yeah, rationing. It would be like during like if we were at war. You were allocated just barely enough corpse starch to survive. Paid! Stim, you work for the Emperor! Think not of payment or greed. Okay, fair. Fair. Everything is on the back burner because they have to keep the wars going. Macro level economy is based on trade, micros, whatever the planet's currency system is. So it basically operates like a country at war. That's been at war for a long time. So there's not much economy. Because don't they say, historians and economical people, don't they say that when a country is at war, it like destroys the economy? But then after war, economy booms? I feel like that's what happened to Canada. I feel like they said after the war, our economy boomed. But during the war, our economy tanked. Okay.
But you as an individual are an unimportant speck in the grand scheme of the Imperium, and you will do what is required of you, because that is your reality. Moreover, most of the Imperium trades in commodities. This can be raw materials, military hardware, and very often humans. So more than likely you are an asset and will be utilized however the Imperium sees it. The best way to visualize currency in the Imperium is that it's all system specific for the most part, and within a hive, for one, you are likely never going to leave, and so its credit system would be very specific to that location. There's no need for it to exist outside of that. Think of it like company money. You get paid by the person you're working for, who then also happens to simultaneously produce all of your other requirements. So you then are being paid by and paying back into that same company. It's a good way to basically regulate what the citizenry are using and ensure that everybody gets their fair or perhaps basic requirement share of things. Now you think you've got a worse 40k job in mind? Well, throw it down in the comments and maybe I'll include it in part 2 of this if I do a follow-up. And if you guys enjoy this and we open it up to even some more loose speculation for different parameters and different aspects of Warhammer 40,000, this could become an ongoing accompanying series. So now in no actual order of horror, to begin with, servitors. Now for reasons we won't get...
I knew it! I knew servitors would be here! I feel like this is like the most horrific thing. One of the most horrific things in Warhammer. They scare me so much. They absolutely terrify me.
Get into here within the Imperium, any advanced state of artificial intelligence is aggressively outlawed. So instead, the ever-ingenious humanity of the future has found a fantastic solution to get around this problem, because we are, after all, always such great problem solvers. The solution? Well, as is always the case, there is a plentiful supply of human plebs, criminals, and general undesirables. So how about we part lobotomize them, hopefully they get the gift of being mind-wiped, and then fuse what's left of their still living but now eviscerated carcasses into a somewhat functional cyborg.
This job! What the heck? Even describing it, half lobotomized, so they're not even fully lobotomized in some cases they're like sentient, some of them, and they have their memories. Less of a job and more of a tool. Oh, I don't know, man. Retail's like that. Wow.
It's not really AI and it's not really human. Problem solved, everybody's happy. Except likely the unwilling participants of becoming a servitor. Servitors are a vital part of the Imperium, carrying out tasks too dangerous or too enduring for humans to want to take on the role. Although if no servitor were available and push comes to shove, you know that somebody's going to have to install that hyper dangerous fuel system, and it's not going to be any officer types.
There's an excerpt from a book with an Inquisitor is being shown the process of how a servitor is made. Absolutely horrific. Whoa! They detail the process in a book? Eee. I mean, at least that would be a cute servitor. I hope they fully lobotomize me, though. I'd be fine with it if I was fully lobotomized, because, like, I'm not gonna care. But they have to thoroughly, fully lobotomize. It can't be a half job.
While servitors are questionably necessary, they are a sad and incredibly depressing portrait of the dark future. And it's very questionable, given the fairly immoral state of humanity in the 41st millennium, just how well lobotomized these individuals are if they're not mind-wiped. Servitors, while carrying out their instructed functions if left to their own devices, have been seen to become confused and disorientated, sometimes found in a lost corner of a starship or missing in the maze of a hive city, babbling to themselves with a sea of incomprehensible speech, with perhaps some scant details of their former selves and former lives, perhaps trying to formulate some cognition or sense of who they were before. Worse still, we hear stories of people who undergo surgery appearing to be under anesthetic, but are in fact just paralyzed and fully conscious. So it broaches the possibility that some or even many servitors are actually fully aware of the lives they are living and with full awareness and memory of even their former lives, but who then simply lack the ability to speak or even control their own bodies, trapped in a silent, monotonous and potentially unending agony in the prisons they have been physically melded into. One of probably the most common and unpleasant tasks to partake in within the Imperium would be working in its vast factories. Now, planets with hive cities will usually
Manufacturing? I don't see how manufacturing can be compared to being turned into a servitor. The Mechanicus once assassinated an Inquisitor, but copied her personality over to a bunch of servitors. Whoa. OSHA definitely doesn't exist here. I'm guessing they don't wear PPE either.
be spattered with important resources, and their factories will then churn out any number of processed materials necessary for the functioning of their hive and/or required by order of the Imperium off-world. The administrators and governors will not care how these orders are fulfilled, only that they are completed on time as required. This subsequently means the conditions for workers are just about as awful as you could imagine. Toxic, acrid air, long 20-hour shifts, token pay, and squalid, cramped living conditions.
20-hour shifts? So you maybe get to sleep for 4 hours if you fall asleep like immediately after work? Holy. What do they do to the people who fall asleep while they're working? I don't want to know. Turn them into a servitor, probably.
Still, for most people at this level of society, it's probably the best they could hope for. Upward mobility is not a thing, and the only other options being to slip into vagrancy and an underhive of horrors. Even then, this is a class of citizen who no one will blink an eye if somebody goes missing for whatever horrible reason, and still grinding day after day in a factory of hot, dangerous, and likely condemning you to a slow, agonizing death as your body is ravaged by fulfilling your work quota, coupled with the slow poisoning it receives every day, is hardly an appealing alternative, but it's the best that many can hope for. An Imperial Guardsman. Now, while a Guardsman is obviously an honourable and respected role for those in the Imperium, because frankly anybody forced to face down a 40-foot-high lumbering alien killing machine who will in all likelihood either cleave you in two, strip the skin from your body, leaving you running around screaming like a skin.
Hey, it's my boy! It's the Flayer Necron cult. Let's go!
Animal, or just bludgeon you to a pulp, or maybe bombard you with projectiles full of acidic, boring maggots, deserves a reasonable level of respect, even if that service was in fact non-consensual. As with many military roles in the Imperium, Guardsmen serve with a duality of horrific warfare experience coupled with unceasing immortal honour. Because of the extreme casualty rates, most Guardsmen are equipped with simply a lasgun, because why give them more than that when they're not going to be around to use it?
True. I mean, I don't fault them for that. Why give them more than that when they're just gonna die, like, immediately? Like, what was the survival rate of a guardsman? Wasn't it, like, 24 hours? Or something? It was super low. 15 hours. Wow. So, like, why waste the good weapons on them? They're just meant to be cannon fodder. 15, Commissar Stim is being optimistic. Hi, Odious. Yeah. Wow, 15 when deployed. You survived more than a day? That's a veteran. Dang.
A lasgun being a weapon often referred to as a flashlight because of its extremely poor effectiveness.
Their lasguns are being called a flashlight? Oh my god, that is quite the comparison there. Dang.
Against the severe threats faced by the Imperium. Other heavy weaponry for its soldiers are available, as well as some devastatingly powerful tanks, ordnance, and air support, but for your average man on the ground, bad luck, you get the lasgun. While Imperial propaganda will tell the glory of serving in the Imperium, the reality is fairly disconnected from this stirring and glorifying rhetoric. The phrase battle of attrition comes quickly to mind for many guardsmen who will not receive much if any personal body armor, unlike their superhuman Astartes saviors. Nope, you're going into battle with the shirt on your back, and as an individual, no one is going to be stopping to help you when you lose a limb or worse.
Oh, that's actually a good point though. Do they have like medics like a normal army would? I don't think I've ever heard anything talked about as in medics. Or do they just count their losses? Yeah, they do. They're few and far between. They're probably saved for like the important people too. Like I don't think they would waste a medic on guardsmen. They do, but most don't make it that far. There are medics and sister hospitaler, or there are medica and sister hospitaler. Medical servers. Well, that makes sense. Medical server skulls. They're probably like only saved for like higher position or higher rankings though. Like I can't imagine they would waste, if it's a small group of medics, I can't imagine they would waste them on guardsmen who aren't expected to live long anyways. That's a problem. The problem is a lot of injuries to tend, yeah. Actually, very few guards get injured because they mostly just die right away, true. Yeah, most guardsmen would die before medics have a chance to treat them. Makes sense. Didn't we learn, I think maybe in Bricky's first video I watched, that about the Space Marine factions that the guardsmen are more likely to drown in blood? That's like one of the major ways of dying is just drowning in blood, because so many of them die, and if you get smushed into the dirt and you can't breathe, they keep moving over you.
And the word expendable will be very much on your commander's lips. Now if it isn't bad enough that you're facing a nightmarish host of Xenos, your commissar will be standing right behind you, ready to kill you or your newfound friends on the slightest hint of your hesitation, or perhaps simply to just motivate those around you. Unless you have qualified for a specialist division or an elite force within the Guard, you're more than likely going to become Operation Human Shield. And if by some miracle you manage to survive the horrific conditions of battling alien horrors with little more than a gun that shoots light, having watched many around you die in the most unbearable of circumstances, and then still have your sanity intact, not to mention hopefully not having your body be completely broken, there's nothing to say that an orbiting Astartes or Inquisition may not simply decide that things are not going quite as well as they'd expected, and decide that in fact an orbital bombardment might best serve the fast resolution of the situation.
Oh my god!
Your service is appreciated, Guardsmen. If you feel like—
Thank you for dying for us. We're actually just gonna blow up the planet anyways. Or we're just gonna nuke that spot right there. Thank you for dying for no reason. We're just gonna nuke it.
if you're having a bad day and want to voice your concerns to those around you, this is not advisable. Commissars will be standing by to silence you for potentially damaging unit morale, but like so many aspects of the Imperium, the most hollow element is the fact that in serving your family, your planet, and your Imperium, you will not be remembered, and will be 100% left behind if the situation warrants it. You will not be receiving a flashy service, or your family informed of your demise. You are but one of millions upon millions of soldiers, and while some planets are focused around specialist skills and military—
Wow, that looks so cool. Look at that as a Tyranid. Looks so cool. They're big stompies.
training, many more are unwitting or even unwillingly drafted. You will not receive special genetic engineering. You get your gun, your orders, and a direction to advance. Now get on with it, Guardsmen, before your own officer—
Imagine fighting that thing. Like, what do you do? What do you do in this situation? Do you think there's anyone brave enough to do it like in the video games and the movies where they like climb up its legs and jump onto its face and try and stab it in the brain? You think there's any like people that try and do that? Like, I know they're trained to shoot it. But it's either that or get shot in the back of the head for fleeing, yeah. I just want to see someone do it like Legolas style. You know, when he like jumped up there and stabbed it. Do you think they would get a medal for that? Fix bayonets, attach bayonets. That's an Imperial Knights problem? Oh, true. That still counts as one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It still counts as one. You actually see Guardsmen fight a Bio-Titan in Space Marines too. Oh, cool. I'm excited to play it.
to shoot you for failure to follow command. Next, in direct contrast, is the dull monotony of bureaucracy. You are the grease and oil in the machine as an administrative scribe. While many lives in the Imperium are pain-ridden and lives of frustrating physical agony, there is an argument to be made that endless perpetual administration is equally unbearable. The role of an administrator or an administrative scribe is to perpetually carry out tasks that must seem simply entirely pointless in the grand scheme of things. Your daily tasks lost amid a vast ocean of information. Your whole being lost in reams and reams of paper trails, and even the purpose and intent of your tasks are potentially lost to meaning, or possibly even no longer required, having been long forgotten about. Billions of clerks, scribes, and general admin staff work tirelessly to manage the Imperium at every tier. Compared to others, this may seem like a sweet job to land yourself, but imagine having to do the same thing every day without.
This is the worst. This is the worst. I could not do this. I could not do this. I would rather we made a servitor than do this. I have tried to do administration jobs before where it's just like data entry, and it literally sucked the soul out of my body because it was the same thing every day, all day, just inputting numbers. And it was, I literally blacked out at work, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Where am I? I don't think I could do this job. This would be torture. This would be agony. It would make me actually go insane. I think this job would break my mind. I couldn't do it. The ADHD in me couldn't do it. No.
Without end, without opportunity, and without meaning. In many respects, it's the closest thing to hell for many. Pointless tasks with no thanks or appreciation, no sense of really contributing anything to the greater whole, cold, harsh working conditions, still subject to the same brutal rules and regulations that dictate all Imperial life. Indeed, the very nature of the complex bureaucracy that is strictly enforced allows little room for error. Regulations, forms, protocols, and process is your life. Worse perhaps is to live a life of blind ignorance of the goings-on beyond the walls and confines of your endless daily data processing. Many administrative positions are considered hereditary as well, so you'll be committed to a life of permanent placement facing logic engines and cogitator workstations. For an administratum scribe working in their specific sub-departments, all must be recorded, catalogued, completed in quadruplet, processed, and then as long as centuries later, finally archived. The whole process is grindingly slow and dull beyond the strongest possible interpretation of the word. And as a final insult, you must fulfill your role accurately and efficiently for the entirety of your servitude. Failure to do so risks intervention by the Inquisition. Administrative departments who have failed to maintain an acceptable level of efficiency, or worse, make a catalogue of errors, may be subject to mass summary executions by Inquisitors for crimes against the Imperium.
I think that I would like purposely make a mistake so that they killed me. Because I don't think I don't think I could do that job. I would just purposely like fuck everything up and be like, well, take me then. Take me. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, you're gonna kill me? Great. Sounds good. Name a time and place. The Watcher in the Rain touches on that subject in a really interesting way. Highly recommend. I've never heard of that. I will look it up. Kill you? No, then they make you a servitor? Well, as long as they lobotomize me, then I feel like that would be better. I'd rather not think than do that every day. But then, I don't know, living in like constant pain, being half aware, but not able to move your body would also really suck. I actually don't know what's worse.
As a simple cog in a machine, you could also unknowingly participate in a scheme of upward conspiracy and corruption and be judged for this without even having been aware of doing so. A thankless, soul-destroying job where you'll likely never see anything beyond the incarcerated walls of your administrative vault sector. Now, the human batteries, otherwise known as psychers, used to fuel the Emperor atop of his golden throne. Unsanctioned psychers are continually hunted by the Imperium, and when discovered they will likely be transported off-world to return to Terra in what are referred to as the much-feared Black Ships. As an unsanctioned psyker, you'll be assigned to one of two roles for the Imperium: training to a full operating psyker or a psychic human battery to fuel the Emperor and the Astronomican's daily required injection of psychic power. Unsanctioned psykers represent a great threat to populations as they run the risk of unwittingly becoming a portal for demonic incursion. And
I would love to be a psyker. I think that's the best job so far. I know it's really dangerous, But you have like magical powers fueled by chaos. You might get torn to shreds by a demon, but it's better than doing math all day. No, you wouldn't. I mean, I would rather be torn to shreds by demons than do math all day.
Those imprisoned within its cavernous, permanently dark, freezing cold holds on the journey back to Terra, with thousands of other unfortunate members being probably the most harrowing part of the ordeal, as these untrained psychers will expel their panicked and fraught emotions all around them. As such, only the most mentally strong Sisters of Silence will crew these vessels so as to be able to withstand the constantly soul-numbing despair of the incarcerated amateur psychers.
Classic stim being heretical. Or maybe Big E will eat you. Don't forget, 1,000 a day. That's true. It would be my honor to be devoured by the Big E, though. The highest of honors. The issue is probably the more going slowly / quickly insane. I feel like honestly every job so far you would be insane doing, though. So like that's just standard now. I don't really consider that negative. Psychers put in a coma and stuck in a Navy ship to create the Gellar field so the ship can move through the warp would be pretty horrific. Yeah, that would be pretty horrific. I wouldn't want to be a navigator. Nope. Nope, I don't think I would like that job. Nope.
For the majority of these poor souls, upon reaching Terra itself, their fate will be psychic disintegration, as they're consumed by the Emperor and the Astronomicon, their very mind, soul and body being consumed in agonizing psychic fire, and their bodies and brains are burned to ashes. But it does keep the Imperium's lighthouse lit for another day at least.
I like how casual he says that. It's like, well, you know, their bodies and their brains are going to be burnt into straight ashes, you know, like literally disintegrated. But you know what? Kept the light on for one more day. just a minor cost. Maybe if you're lucky, you'd get to be a Space Marine psyker. I like to think that when psychers get eaten by Big E, it just sounds like that Lego Yoda death sound. Yeah, navigators are nobility. Well, I mean, at least they have that. At least they have a title, right?
An unpleasant but perhaps at least highly appreciated task to carry out in your service for the Imperium is that of refueling a starship warp drive. And this has scant documentation on who specifically carries out this role, but it is described as being similar to a funeral procession. Those chosen to carry out the task will begin by leaving an airlock to cross the service deck of a ship, wearing robes of grey metallic thread connected up with valves of long cabling, all wearing thick lead gloves as they carry their heavy metal caskets upon their shoulders. The service staff's eyes, nose and mouth will be similarly fitted with these connective valves, the unknown material they carry within these caskets evidently being extremely hazardous, for as these individuals cross to their objective, their flesh, skin will slowly cook and be burned away. This process being described by tech priests as the most perilous operation a vessel could undertake, barring actual combat. As the procession—
What? Excuse me? What the fuck? Huh? Oh my god. Their job is to walk across the ship and die? They're literally just like outfitted to die? Like, well, this is an honor. You get to refuel the ship. Now you will slowly burn to death and suffer horribly, but it's an honor. Oh my god!
Of staff would approach the warp drive central column, the casket carriers would become even further physically damaged and even start to disintegrate, but being driven perhaps by the chemicals and gases being infused into them as pain suppressors and some chemical concoctions to enable them to carry out such a task, they lumber forward.
Wow.
But the closer the carriers come to the drive itself, the more they begin to stagger and their metallic robes deteriorate. Their infused chemicals keeping them barely standing as their bodies begin to quite literally fall apart, chunks of flesh and matter falling from their person as they push on to deliver their—
What? How do they not have a more more efficient way of doing this than a little husk of a corpse hopped up on drugs trying to refuel the engines. How? How do they not have a better way of doing this?
Their fuel to the drive. The casket would be finally pushed into a socket of the drive column as some of the carrier's limbs would detach and strips of muscle and bone hang down from their gaping robes. Servitor-like machines would collect the remains of the carriers and scrape these into yet more caskets before tech priests offer prayers to the machine god. With the last great effort, the final casket bearers would load their fuel into the drive before the doors would rapidly shut. The robed shells would now be retracted to the entry point, and the ship's captain might be heard to utter, "Emperor, preserve us," before finally turning away from the harrowing scene playing out on the engineering deck of their starship.
Wow. That's truly horrific and grimdark. Wow. This is intense. Holy. They don't have an STC for it, so this is the only way, I think. Because it's probably the cheapest way. Capitalism. I mean, the imperial stuff. Wow. It's the cheapest way is just to dispose of humans this way. Yeah, they probably have more efficient ways, but humans are the cheapest. That's crazy. It's literally, that job is literally just sacrificial. The sacrificial lamb. The Mechanicus isn't allowed by faith to create new machines. Well, I know that, but I thought they would have an STC or something for, you know, like a way to refuel the ships. You think they'd have, I thought they would have discovered something by now. Well, I mean, they probably do, but like humans are cheaper, so.
Imagine life in something like the 13th century, essentially the Middle Ages, where anything like 90% of the population spend all of their time every day working the land. This is
you! This is you! Stim peasants, this is you! The feudal peasant! Look at this representation of our community. You made it into the video!
Life on a feudal world. There are a few citizens with specific jobs working stone and metals, but your average person's life is doomed to endless hard labour. This physically destroys—
Yeah, my giant castle in the background. Hey, look, one of you has a horse. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Job is carried out from dawn to dusk, year-round, with the populace likely surviving on a meagre supply of its own productivity. A high mortality rate of disease and infection, industrial accidents with primitive machinery or domestic complications.
Look at those happy stim peasants. This is like what a happy family looks like. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Yeah, you get fresh air. You get community bonding. You can literally see all the happy smiles. I love my back-breaking work for my princess. Don't you just love being a STEM peasant? I don't know how you could want for more than this. We even have like, there's like even like wheels and water, buckets of water, pails to poop in. I have everything I need. You have everything you need by the love of your Oshi. I don't know what else you could ask for, honestly. Like, this is the best job there could be.
Like no medicine to prevent women from dying in childbirth, this all in and of itself sounds hard enough of a life, but imagine, if you will, the job of a feudal gong farmer. Now what is this scintillating job? Well, it's collecting the mess of medieval latrines and cesspits, bringing it manually outside of a city or a town to be used as fertilizer for farming. You do get the privilege of searching through the waste if you choose to find any valuables, and by the way, you also have to work only during the night. And here's hoping you don't pass out from the fumes you're inhaling and potentially drown in the stuff you're having to rake out every night.
Wow, that's who volunteers? Who volunteers to shovel the shit in the STEM peasant kingdom. It's the highest of honors. The most noble of jobs, yes. Yes. Real occupation in history, by the way. Wow. I mean, I guess in the feudal era, they had to have someone to shovel the shit away.
And for those on a feudal world, to top it off, an Imperial Administrator will be watching from an orbital platform, and that's about all the defences your planet has. So let's hope no blood-crazed orcs, hungry tyrannids, or immoral demons come wandering by. If you thought working a feudal planet or in a factory for material processing in a hive was bad, don't be so ungrateful, citizen. You have a privileged life compared to those poor souls working in agri-processing. While this is going to vary from hive planet to planet, some of the worst of this is processing what's referred to as corpse starch and ration biscuit.
Oh no, it's the corpse starch. It's the corpse starch stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I've been dreading this part.
Both unpleasant in their own way. As populations for the massive ecologies known as hive cities become quite simply ridiculous, housing anything between 10 and 100 billion citizens, the need for sustenance is obviously difficult to provide for. And while you may be lucky enough to save up your credits and purchase a delicious chunk of rat meat, you're more than likely going to be enjoying some delicious ration bars or corpse starch. But how do workers produce such luxuries? Well, ration bars are best described as horribly greasy, generally unpopular, shockingly, and are biscuit bars to feed workers, serfs, and military forces.
Biscuit bars? They really take the time to form it into biscuits?
They're manufactured by harvesting bio-rich matter from ocean planets and worlds with seas, which then provides a protein-rich gruel. This, though, would be not enough to provide for the billions of citizens, so it must be instead fed to larvae of the Orochian bilefly. And when these larvae...
Wait, what? They're feeding it to larvae flies? Hardtack, but made out of maggots.
They reach an optimal stage in their life cycle when they're plump enough, the larvae are going to be pulped by workers and compressed down into the hard-to-stomach biscuit ration bars.
Oh,
the agri-workers doing this process will work in huge air-sealed pens that produce these plump, fat larvae. If you're working in one of these places, then things are not going to be going well for you. And you're probably quite low down in your hive city, as the stench and endless droning vibrations and material mechanical sounds of the bileflies is not one that many would choose to live with. Still though, it could be worse. You could be producing corpse starch, which is about as appealing as it sounds. This material is bland, filling, and relatively nutritious because it's basically reconstituted biomatter mixed with animals, plants, discarded organics, and of course rumoured to include human corpses as well. While this is undoubtedly frowned upon by various administrative departments of the Imperium, it's one of those things that a planetary governor is going to either sweep under the rug, play down, or full-on cover up.
So my choices are maggot biscuits or the remains of humans turned into biscuits. Maggot biscuits or human remain biscuits? And waste biscuits? Does that make you a cannibal if you eat it as a biscuit? I feel like that doesn't make you a cannibal if it's in the form of a biscuit. And it's like not meat. There are legit cricket protein bars on the market? Something about it being a maggot makes it worse. I can understand eating crickets. I would eat a cricket probably. But a maggot? I don't know, man. That's crossing a line for me.
It's never out and out a disclosed ingredient, but highly suspected that one way the population are able to be adequately fed is the mechanical reclamation of human biomatter, albeit then diluted by various other organic materials. It's like so many things in the Imperium, on the borderline of being acceptable. And when faced with limited options for feeding your population, the alternative being violent food riots, then it becomes a necessary evil. Pity though the workers who have to work in the stinking immoral environment where you must process
Oh my
endless
God!
stinking vats of biomatter,
What is
perhaps
this
seeing some
image?
things that are going to be difficult to forget as you catch your eager 4 hours of rest before getting back into the production line. Now, I am yet to cover the assassins of the Imperium, but one aspect in being selected to work as an Imperial assassin is their pre-training. Now, as with most Imperial roles, it's quite unpleasant. But specifically, the role of the Eversor Temple, which disturbingly leans towards using the youngest recruits as they are less developed and therefore
Ooh.
easier to bioadapt later.
I think Eversor is one of the worst ones too. But the upside is they're so hopped up on drugs that they probably don't dislike it. Right? Like, it is pretty bad in concept, but if you were one, they're so drugged up, they probably don't mind. They probably don't mind.
In surgery. To start off with, most recruits will be orphans from a death world, of which there are quite unsurprisingly a plentiful supply in the Imperium. These recruits, after some base training, will be transported to Terra, but en route they will continue to be trained by a survival of the fittest assessment. These very young recruits will engage in what can best be described as an ongoing battle royale of wills, initiative, and resolve. Recruits are required to survive on minimal food, even minimal oxygen, for days on end, as well as continual forced fighting between themselves.
Oh, never mind. This does sound bad. Oh, it's just Fortnite? It reminds me of, like, was that, oh my God, what's that book called? Ender's World? Was it Ender's World? I don't know. There's many books about kids having to fight each other to survive, to be turned into weapons. Ender's Game. Yeah, thank you. Ender's Game. Ender's World. I was thinking Ender's Game. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that. Maybe not as bad, but you know, just take some young kids, we'll starve them, we'll torture them, we'll make them fight each other, and whoever wins gets to be tortured some more and turn into a living weapon.
This could be armed, unarmed, in near total darkness, or distracting aural and lighting conditions. Heat, cold, varying levels of gravity from the thin to the severe all will be factors in their assessment. When they eventually reach Terra, there could be anything below 1/10 of the original number of recruits who have survived this harrowing ordeal, or perhaps not at all if their assessors deem them unsatisfactory to requirements. The recruits, though, will then be organised by the temple they are best suited for. Eversor assassin recruits face, though, the further horror of being now forcibly bioengineered. These youngest recruits, are essentially children, will be turned through this process into unstoppable drug-fueled killing machines.
Oh my God, this is so disturbing. My God. Because it's children, it's worse. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. Torturing little children. I can't.
To achieve this, the Medicus adepts will use a range of genetic adaptation, endoskeletal restructuring, bionic implants, and infusions of chemicals to turn the previously human youth into a nightmarish weapon that can barely be controlled by its own leaders. Their cerebral cortex will also be enhanced and the brain fitted with Lobo chips. These will amplify the assassin's state of mind to either raging hate, pure determination, or extreme fanatical drive for the love of the Imperium at any cost. This whole process is unpleasant and far from risk-free. Many subjects will die of massive multi-organ collapse as their bodies struggle to handle the severe restructuring. And this is not to mention the inevitable side effects from being turned into a bio-enhanced, drug-fueled, borderline if not psychotic killing machine. Past this point, the assassin will continually attempt to balance the complex cocktail of chemicals that's fueling and simultaneously poisoning their system. Finally, at the end of all this, the assassin will be placed in cryosuspension, their bodies so drug-fueled and their own mindset so completely unstable that it's easier than keeping them actively conscious.
Oh! They hop them up, fuel them with drugs, and then, like, freeze them until they're needed? What the heck? They're literally making it like a weapon out of a person. They're, like, saving it until they're ready to use it. That's crazy. They are indeed human popsicles until they are needed. Did they? I forget. I wasn't. I was too busy being horrified. But did Luton say why they use children? I don't really understand that part. Just because they're easier to train when they're young and impressionable. Yup, you're launched like a missile when you're needed in a drop pod. Children are easier to break and easier to work with. Oh my god, this is so disturbing. I know I should be like edgy and be like, yeah, this is cool, but this is like so disturbing to me. I cannot do children movies and things because for some reason it really gets me. Children and animals. I can't. Oh, it makes me sick. I like my edge extra edgy. Yeah, fuck them kids, right? I'm super edgy and dark humor. I just can't. You only deploy an Everstore if the situation is everyone in that general area needs to die regardless of affiliation. So it's like everyone in the area needs to die, but we're not going to nuke the planet. So this is the solution. Or drop a human nuke.
For a mission, they're going to be placed into a drop pod and then fired down to achieve their task. Becoming an Everstar assassin is likely one of the worst jobs in the Imperium, as your life is nothing but soul-destroying pain and servitude to be stripped of everything you were and used as an indiscriminate weapon of the Imperium. Now, penal legions are...
Penal legions? Okay. In the end, it is a less glorified space marine. Yeah. Yeah, basically, I guess.
Are the dregs of Imperial society, so you can imagine these are some less than capable individuals. These are usually members of the Imperial Guard and PDF who have perhaps not been executed on the spot for their crimes and instead commuted to a life sentence in the loosest definition of the word.
Oh, these are like criminals? They haven't been executed yet? It's like, I guess they probably don't have normal prisons and jails. That makes sense, they would have horrible versions of it.
However, a penal legion can be easily made up of murderers, maniacs, thieves, in general criminal elements of society, or just those who were far too incompetent in their duties and have been sentenced to play some more mildly useful role for the Imperium. These legions, though, unfortunately, are basically the waste dump of human society and are forced to wear explosive slave collars that are more about turning the troops into human bombs than a disciplinary incentive.
The ones that don't become servitors? Wow. Yeah, I guess why execute resources, true. Will you be reacting to Mr. Bones 40k today? I don't think so. I think today will be a short stream because I have to leave for Offkai soon. So, and I have to pack and do a bunch of stuff, but we'll see.
March in a shambolic way towards their goal, or perhaps run if they're crazed, and then perhaps to just encourage those around them with whatever they're meant to be doing. Maybe a few of them will be blown up and detonated here and there. But is this the job we're talking about? Well, no. In fact, what we're actually sparing a thought toward are those tasked with maintaining control over these plebs. Penal legion
over these filthy plebs.
Overseers essentially have the unfortunate task of herding a bunch of shambolic, potentially murderous and psychopathic cats. Some of the penal legion will relish their role and accept their death running headlong into the enemy, but others may fall into mental ruin, just falling to the floor crying, unable to move. Others may try to run away or simply just lash out and kill those standing around them. As frustratingly soul-destroying as such a task is, those commanding a penal legion are usually well versed in dealing out punishment, cruelty and incentives to their force, and will lay down brutal levels of discipline. Despite this professionalism though, it's still likely one of the most frustrating roles to have to command in, with a force who are potentially just as happy killing each other and themselves as they are the enemy. So now to finish.
Oh great, we get to finish with unknown horrors. I love it. I love it. Great. The penal legions don't sound that bad. I imagine if you're in charge of a penal legion, you're pretty messed up yourself. So it's like it would suck. I mean, it would suck, but it's not that bad. You have to like get control of these. Honestly, it kind of sounds like being a VTuber manager. But on to the unknown horrors.
I'm going to have to break your immersion. But the truest worst job that could exist in 40k is, well, whatever you can draw from your own imagination. Because this might seem like a cop-out, but it's actually the real bedrock of 40k. Because while it has embedded canon and non-canon lore, it's also a world whereby you as a participant are encouraged to use your own imagination. The civilian life of the dark future is very poorly documented, and really we only have scraps of information compared to the endless raging warfest that is ongoing between various factions. The civilian life of the Imperium is perhaps one of the most interesting aspects that exists in the 40k universe, and if Games Workshop will not expand upon it, maybe it's time we start doing so ourselves with some wild speculations and imaginings.
Or we write our own fanfiction. You know? Just saying. Some really good fan fiction out there.
The whole thing with 40k is that the Imperium itself is so fractured and spread across countless systems with vast distances in between, it's really hard to focus in on some of the details of different worlds. Now this has happened very, very slowly over time with little fragments of information, but some could be, for example, nightmarish gulags, while others could be verdant, lush garden worlds of pleasure. Others could be more Earth-like with all the complex goings-on of human life that this entails, or you could be living in a horrific hive city or toxic choking forge world. Or how about a planet that's being cut off from the Imperium due to a simple administrative error, forced to go its own way with the vague hope of one day being rediscovered if it's not destroyed by some other alien process in the meanwhilest. And this for me is one of the most enjoyable parts of Warhammer 40,000. You can use your own imagination to build a whole narrative given the existing lore and framework of the factions within it. Often the world of 40k draws on real world history, and it's something that I really love the idea of doing in creating whole descriptions of planets and locations that are non-canon and entirely fictional. Perhaps this is something I'll find time to do, perhaps it's something you guys would be interested in me doing. In the meanwhile, worst jobs canon or not, tell me down below what's the worst thing you can come up with. I'm probably going to regret asking that, but let's see. As always guys, thanks for watching and thank you for your support. I'll see you in the next one.
Good video! Good video! Each man executed is a man who can no longer serve, and to fail in service to the Emperor is the greatest of sins. Lehman Russ, Primarch of the Space Wolves. What did you think was the worst job, chat? Out of all the jobs today? What was the worst one? I think the best one was the feudal peasant, and you better say yes to that because that is your job description, Stim Peasants. VTuber manager! I love my job. It's really fun. I couldn't resist making a manager joke. I will be the best shit shoveler in Stim Pakistan. It's called the Stimdom. The Stim Pak Kingdom is called the Stimdom. Oh yeah, let's read the comments. Let's see what other people put down. I think the worst one was the guy writing math data entry. That was probably the worst one. The Stimdom, not the Stimdom. You know, like kingdom, but Stimdom. Yeah. Let's see the comments of what the worst jobs were. Let's see here. Are people actually going to write comments about worst jobs? No, they're not. Conscious servitor. Yeah, being a conscious servitor would be truly horrific. Being a servitor that actually got fully lobotomized properly, I mean, at that point you don't care because you can't think. But being a conscious servitor would be really bad. Being an Eversor assassin, really bad. That one is probably going to give me nightmares because I don't know, when I thought of Eversor before, I just assumed they were like full-grown men because they would be the strongest, you know? And I'm like, that's not too bad. But a child Eversor assassin, that is like nightmare fuel to me. It does make one question why some people do not simply choose to end it. I wonder what the suicide rate is in the Imperium. I really do. It's gotta be pretty high. It's gotta be really high. But then at the same time, they're brainwashed into thinking, like, wanting to do it for the Emperor and the Imperium. Read about mortifiers and penitent engines to have nightmares. I don't want more. I don't want more nightmares. I'm already very impressionable. I think they hurt your family if you do. Oh. I'd rather be an Imperial Guardsman and die within, like, an hour. At least I feel like I'm doing something. We're just looking at comments on what the worst jobs are, but, I don't see any comments talking about jobs. You'd be doing well to survive the first hour of deployment. Penitent engines are messed up. Should I read what a penitent engine is, or will it severely traumatize me? Oh, no, actually, what the worst job was the refueler. The refueler was the worst job. That was crazy. That was crazy. They were just, like, sent to their death. And I don't think that they were drugged up. It didn't mention they were drugged up. Hopefully they were. But they were basically said, put on this outfit and go walk out there in space and die. But also refill the engines up while you're out there. So this is gonna hurt. But make sure you put the fuel in the engine. Mortifiers are even worse than penitentiary engines. But as a servitor, you live for a long time, and that would really suck if you're aware. Yeah, that would really suck. That's true. Because you don't have control over your body, right? Penitent engines have good-looking models? They give you a bottle of sunscreen and a bucket of radioactive fuel. Oh man, that's rough. That's rough. Thank you for the resub, by the way, Rickles, for the tier 3. Thank you, thank you. What is this quote? For the weak sack of flesh that you so gleefully mock is no super soldier, no immortal warrior, no creature cursed by chaos like you. He is a man, an Imperial Guardsman drawn from some forgotten corner of the Imperium to fight for his species and for the safety of the people he loves. He is a factory worker, a farmer, a storekeeper, a father, a brother, a son, a mere man. And against creatures like you, teeming and numberless, powered by the very will of thirsting gods, he holds the line. He has held the line for 10,000 years. 07. That's such a good quote. Wow. Wow, that was great. He has held the line for 10,000 years. 07. That's me. I'm a guardsman. Cadia stands. The guards have been progressive in recent years. The duty of service has been extended equally to all genders. Oh, great. $40K is at its peak when it's normal humans interacting with demigods. I do love that part of it. I really love the story trope of like a normal human guy in like a crazy fantasy grimdark world. When I play D&D, I like to kind of I either make a super edgy special snowflake with a fucked up history character, or I make that I'm just a normal person and they get traumatized by the horrors of the world as the story goes on. Both are good. Both are good. We are equally blessed to die for the Emperor. We are blessed to die for the Emperor. Totally not a heretic here, see? Get off my ass, Chad. I'm not a heretic. I'm blessed To work and die for the Emperor. I had imagined Stim as a murder hobo type. I'm not actually. I'm usually the face of the group. I like to talk my way out of situations when I play D&D and get us into funny predicaments. Stim, join the Tau. We get houses and healthcare here. Wow, do you really? I feel like this is Tau propaganda. Guess I'll die, please. Anyone in the 40k universe? The Yapper likes to talk her way out. Wow, who could have seen that coming? It's me. I like all the attention. I'm attention seeking. I like being the charismatic character of the group because I like the attention. Yeah, I'll admit it. I heard murder hobo before I heard D&D. that is a D&D term, I think. Mostly D&D. Stim is a bard player. I actually have never. Well, I played a bard once. I usually play like warlock. Or yeah, I usually play warlock. I play lots of warlocks. Shocking, I know. Shocking, I like to summon demons and make pacts with demons and devils. Who could have thought? Who, like, you got my ass. I'm so surprised. The YouTuber that admits to being attention-seeking, daring today, aren't we? Look at my face, it's filled with shock. Shut up, chat. How do people find time and people to play D&D with? You know what? I don't know. I still never finished my one-shot of Pathfinder that I started. My brother's DMing for me, and I just don't have the time to finish it. It's hard to line up everyone's schedules. I don't think we will ever finish that one shot. I have people I can play with. Luckily, my brother is a DM. He's a really great DM. He's been DMing for a long time, and he knows people who would play. It's just fine. I don't have the time to commit to like a 4 to 5 hour game every second week or so. And then if I do have the time, it's rare that it lines up with everyone else's time. Most of my friends are cripplingly employed. Yeah, it's tough as a grown-up out here as an adult, isn't it? It's tough having a job and responsibilities. I just want to play D&D and no life. Time to do a TTRPG on stream? I would love to run a Glitchstars game. It's just so much work. It's so much work to DM. I would have to like quit everything for a month just to prep a campaign. It would be really fun. I would love to see what characters the girls will play. I just don't have the prep time right now. I'm DMing for almost 30 years, but next month I'm DMing... What did you say, Flo? I'm DMing D&D 5th for the first... Oh, your first time DMing D&D 5th? 5th edition? Oh wait, they updated 5th edition, didn't they? I don't think I've played it since they've changed things. Did they change things? I could be getting confused. There's so many editions now. Imagine doing a Glitchstars 40k TTRPG. I would need someone to teach me. I would love to play 40k TTRPG. I would need a mentor though. That's too much for me to learn on my own. I feel like I know enough about D&D. I could prep all of that on my own. I've been playing for like a long time. But do we have another video lined up? Actually, no. I don't think we have time for another video because I do have a lot to pack. So let's go to the chatting screen. Sorry guys, I know it's gonna be a short stream, but I have so much to pack still. and get done before I can leave for Offkai, because I have to leave like first thing Thursday morning. So that gives me today and tomorrow to get everything finalized and packed and prepped. But I'm happy I got a stream in. I really wanted to get a stream in, so I'm happy about that. Stim needs to pack on brand. Only catch the end, but it was good. Good luck on your packing and traveling. Thank you. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm actually really nervous because I have a layover in Denver. And I'm by myself. And I've never been to Denver Airport, and I hear it's really big. And I don't have super long to catch my next flight. I think I have like a 2-hour layover in Denver, so I'm kind of scared that I'm gonna miss my flight. I don't know how big airports work. So that's what I'm most nervous about, is catching my layovers in Denver. You'll be fine. At least I'm not scared to ask for help. If I get lost at an airport, I've asked people for help before, like and people that work at the airports. What are they called? Airport people, attendants. Denver is big, but the layout is simple. I just get confused because I've never had to travel. Like Canadian airports are pretty small. Even the big ones aren't like huge. I've never had to take like a trolley or like a bus or something to another part of the airport. So that's what I'm confused about. If I'll get I don't know. I don't know. I'm just confused. I'm scared if I'll have to take like a shuttle or something to the other part of the airport. I don't really know how it works. I should look at a map of the layout of the airport before I go. It's a big L shape. Well, that's not too bad then. I should look it up before I go. I had to look over all my flight information. I'm like not prepared at all. As someone who's deathly afraid of flying, I wish you best of luck. I'm not great with flying, but I can get through it. It's a necessary horror. Let me fly over Denver and tell you how it is. Sounds good to me. I'm not afraid of heights. I just don't like, if you guys know, I have like claustrophobia, so that's what freaks me out. The heights I'm fine with. I'm not scared of like flying itself as a concept. Like I'm not scared of that stuff. I'm scared of like I get like anxious being stuck in an airplane. I really don't like traveling. Denver Airport looks to have Google Street View? Oh, from inside the terminals? That's interesting. I've done a lot of traveling, like, in Canada, so I'm not really scared of traveling. I just don't like it. I also, like, get kind of sick when I travel, so I tend not to eat when I travel, because it makes me feel nauseous. So it's, like, usually just water and coffee for me when I travel, or, like, something small. I don't know. I'm not one of those people that can like sit in a bar and have drinks and food and travel. Like that just makes me feel sick thinking about it. I hope you make it there and back again without any troubles. Thank you, Rickles. That reminds me, I do have to download some things on my iPad so I have stuff to listen to. I should download a Warhammer audiobook, actually. That would be a good thing to listen to. I can sleep on planes. I'm pretty lucky. I can sleep on planes. But I think my flights are pretty short because I have a layover. But I'm nervous because I have to drive. I'm driving into the state, so I have to drive through border security. Park my car at the airport, fly to Denver, fly to San Jose. So it's just like it's gonna be a very long day. I wish it could just be like, oh, I just drive to the airport and fly there, but no. I have to drive super far, go through border security, go to an airport, go to another airport, and then end up where I'm going. And I think I end up there like late at night on Thursday night. And I don't like driving through border security because like it feels very personal. Whereas like if you go through like international on flights, it's not that like bad. Because like you just go through the motions with everyone else. But when you go like when you drive across the border, they're like talking to you one-on-one and they're like interrogating you. It's more intimidating. The Night Lord books are great and voiced by Raphael from Baldur's Gate 3. Ooh, okay. Border security is going to single you out again. I always get picked. I'm not suspicious. I don't know why I always get picked. Hi, Rio. I'm always like the quote-unquote random search. I bet it's the horns and the wings, probably. California has been restless lately, so be prepared for a chaotic entry into San Jose. That's another thing I'm worried about, all the stuff going on. I'm just an anxious being, so this is going to be very stressful for me. And it's like extra stressful being international travel. I don't think I'd be as worried if it was like... If I was like just staying within Canada or if I lived in the States, then it's not as scary. But like doing it international is scary. Are you nervous? They might be picking up on that. Wow! Actually, that's a good point. I never thought of that. Maybe they pick me out because I look scared and anxious. They're like, that one right there is doing something wrong. No, it's just my aura. It's just how I am. I'm just always like this. I'm the person who thinks I'm always in trouble when I've done nothing wrong. It's just who I am as a person. You just probably look skittish and that's sus. Yeah, that is how I look. That is always how I look. Just scared. And skittish. They're like, whose child is this? Where's your mom? Do you want me to call your mom for you? Anyways, chat. I'm gonna go have lunch and start packing. I have to do it. I don't want to pack last minute tomorrow night, which I always do. I want to pack ahead of time. I had to pick out my outfits. I have to see what can fit in my carry-on bag because I'm not paying the extra $50 for a big bag. I'm imagining Toothless in the How to Train Your Dragon movie. That is the energy I give. I'm glad I got to stream before leaving. Super happy to stream before leaving. So I'll see some of you at Offkai for my meet and greet. It is on Friday at 5 p.m. PDT. If you're in the area and want to say hi to the Glitch Stars girls at their meet and greets. And I'll be back next week. And I'll talk to you about Offkai. Yay! I'll see you. Bye-bye, my STEM peasants. Take care of the latrines while I'm gone. I'll probably make a thread on Twitter with all my Offkai updates, but I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.